I'll start recording. Okay, first things first, I just wanted to clarify your social studies project. So I better go to the right page. Your partners from Saddle Ranch Elementary, they are still on spring break until Monday. So if you've been trying to email them or share your presentation with them and haven't gotten a response yet, that's why. It's because they have 2 weeks for their spring break, and then they have less of their summer. So their schedule's a little bit different. So really, this week has been kind of, a free week basically for you, just to kind of go through the project and just start looking at it. So if you click on it right here, it just kind of gives you the step-by-step of what we're doing. And I did not put an end date on this because I don't really know when it's going to end. It's just we're going to take it step by step. And then here, if you click right here, it will take you to our little, basically, and it's exactly what you did for Canada. So I think, you guys will probably understand this project pretty easily. It's exactly what we did, except this time you have partners and you don't have to do all 3 jobs. It was good to do that for the Canada project because then you were exposed to all 3 jobs. But this time around, you only have to do one of those jobs, either the biographer, historian, or travel guide. And when those kids come back from spring break, like I said, on Monday, that's when you are going to start communicating about who is going to do what job. So for now, you are just kind of hanging out. Here are some resources that you can click on to use when you start researching. Here's just a little bit about collaborating with your group members. So it's pretty easy. And then at the very end, of course, we will have to present our projects. And then here are all the details. If you click on that next, just kidding, that's an example. Sorry. I guess I sent it out to you in your email. I should link it on here as well. But I have that list of all of those details of, step by step and who's in what group and who your group member, is, and basically all of those things. So let me get to that. Give me just a second. So Kaylee P just joined us. I'm going through your Latin America project, and what I just told Kaylee S and TJ is that your partners from Saddle Ranch Elementary are on spring break until Monday. So if they haven't been replying to you, that's why. Oh, this is the exact same thing, except I added the group members onto this, and the timeline is down there at the bottom. So nothing really new there. Okay. Sorry, I don't remember what I did over spring break. Okay, so what you guys need to do this week is you are going to start the presentation. So you're going to be the one that creates the actual project. So let's just go down and give an example. Let's just say that I am TJ and my country is Brazil. And my 2 partners are named Brian Kane and Joe Perry. Okay, so I'm pretending right now that I'm TJ. So all that TJ needs to do basically for this week is go to his Google Docs, click on Create, click on Presentation, because this is a Google presentation. So I'm pretending right now that I'm TJ. And he's going to make it as beautiful as he wants. Maybe he wants a black background. I don't know. Whatever. He can choose whatever theme he wants. And then he's going to type, remember his country was Brazil. And then this would be a good place to add all of the group members' names. and I don't really remember. I think it was Joe Perry and Brian Kane. Okay, so here's the next step. This is what you're going to need to do. See this blue button up here in the corner that says share? You click on share, and it takes forever. There we go. Oh, I have to name it. All right, name it Brazil, whatever. Okay. All right, so now you get to your share page. This is where you're going to type in, me, because you have to share it with me. Okay, so there I am. Then, who were your two group members? So in TJ's situation, we had Joe Perry, and look at that. When I start typing his name in, it just pops up. So I just click on him. It's kind of nice how that works. And then his second member was Brian Kane. So there's Brian Kane. So pretty easy to find your group members and just go ahead and share the presentation with them that way. And then you would click share and save. So give me a thumbs up or a happy face into the chat if that made sense. Okay, because that's really all you have to do this week. Oh, and welcome, Ashley. I'm glad you were able to join us. Like I said, we are maybe a little bit better with technology than some of the other schools. That's why we are the ones who are going to actually create the presentation and share it with our group members. And like I said, on Monday, when they come back from spring break, they will start communicating with you. So that's it for your Latin America project for now. Okay, so, whoops, I don't want to go there. I will switch gears and we will go into some of our math. You guys have been working on conversions. That's converting between customary units and metric units. So we will watch a cute little brain pop video on that and then do some practice. And then we'll move into area and perimeter, which is something that if you have not gotten to that assignment yet, you will be getting to it soon.
Hello. Welcome to Masterpiece Theater. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cute, you know, masterpiece. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I know. I'll stick to the script. Once upon a time, there were two kings. One of the kings was very traditional. He wore a heavy golden crown, sat on a throne, and ruled with an iron fist.
King of England, by the way.
He did not do that. Hitting people is wrong. But he was kind of stuck in the past, so he let his kingdom go on using the old customary system of weights and measures. You know, units like feet, pounds, gallons, miles. The other king was a little more with it. He wore a regular suit to work. His kingdom used the metric system. Those are units of measurement based on the meter and the gram. The meter is a unit of length equal to a bit more than 3 feet. And the gram is a unit of mass equal to about 1 large paperclip. Well, metric measurements are divided up by units of 10. So learn it.
Okay, so that's what's brilliant about the metric system, is that everything is in units of 10. So it's either 10 times bigger or 10 times smaller than the next unit. In customary units like we're used to, like gallons and feet and miles, 10 has nothing to do with it. And so it's a lot harder to remember.
So learning the different measurements in the metric kingdom was a snap.
How many millimeters in a centimeter?
10.
How many centimeters in a meter?
100.
How many grams in a kilogram?
1,000. Customary measurements are divided up by fractions people tend to use a lot, like quarters, eighths, thirds, and halves. That makes them useful for common, everyday measurements, but a real pain to convert to different units. And each kind of measurement has its own unique set of conversions.
Yeah.
People in the metric kingdom didn't have that problem. No matter what they measured, the units increased by factors of 10. That made it easy to express metric measurements as decimals and to convert between different units. Customary measurements were more often expressed as fractions and weren't so easy to convert to different units. Well, eventually, all the other kingdoms switched over to the metric system. That made it hard for customary subjects to trade and communicate with others.
Except for
They had no
England.
choice but to start using some metric measurements, and they started with their king. They overthrew him and sentenced him to a term of 10 years, 10 months, and 10 days in the dungeon. Why 10? Well, the people who invented the metric system didn't pick 10 randomly. It's derived from the fact that we all have 10 fingers to count with. 5, 6, 7, 8. Huh.
Haha, okay, he's supposed to have 10 fingers. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take the quiz. All right. And it looks like all of you have turned your webcams off, so you're going to be typing into the chat, or your microphones are on, so you can go ahead and just, I guess, shout out the answer if you want to. All right, so which unit measures the same basic quantities? So which units measure the same basic quantities? All right. So looking at all of these different choices, I'm seeing A has a metric and a customary, so that can't be it. B has a customary and a metric unit, so that can't be it. So yes, D is the only one that is using all customary units. Or sorry, similar units. What is the system by which we can convert metric and customary units? Okay, so none. It's different for every unit, or any of these crazy systems. Well, if you remember, they said that it's kind of hard to convert customary to metric because every single thing is different. And that's why it's so confusing. When you use only metric system, everything is a power of 10. So it's easier to convert things, between metric systems. But when you're going from customary to metric, there's just no formula for it. Each one is different. How do metric measurements differ from customary measurements? Okay, let's go ahead and read through your choices. That's right, TJ. Metric measurements are used in powers of 10, and the customary ones, like I was just saying, are all over the place. A picto or picoliter is 3 metric units larger than a femtoliter. How many femtoliters are in a pictoliter? Okay, so let me just take a picture of this. Take me just a second to snap. Okay, here we go. So it doesn't matter what picto and femto mean. All that we need to know is that it is 3 metric units larger. So we know that everything is a power of 10. So basically, I shouldn't have done that. Power of 10, sorry. So there we go. So it's going to have to be 1,000 times, or 1,000 units in the femtoliter. For the most part, the United States uses the customary system. Under what circumstances might Americans use the metric system instead? When would we use the metric system? Yes, when we are working with other countries, because other countries all use metric. Which of the following describes the length of a football field using the metric system? So right away, we know yards is out because that's customary. Could be meters. Feet, that's out right away because that's customary. And a mile is customary. So right away, we know that it has to be approximately 100 meters. If a recipe calls for 3 1/4 cups of flour, you can tell it's using which one of the systems. Customary or metric? Yes, customary. Good. If it's 12 kilometers between your house and the school, how many meters is it between your house and the school? And I'll just tell you that there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So what's 1,000 times 12? 1,000 times 12 is 12,000. Okay, which of the following is a true statement? Right, customary uses decimals? No, that's metric. Metric system uses fractions? No, metric system is the one that uses decimals. Customary system, measurements are often expressed as fractions, and that would be your only good answer. Okay, if a granola bar has 5.7 grams of protein, how many centigrams of protein does it contain? Well, right away, well, maybe not, but centi means 100. So if you multiply 5.7 times 100, you're going to move your decimal point out 2 places. So if I move my decimal point out 2 places, it becomes 570. See how the metric system is pretty easy because it's all powers of 10? Pretty easy stuff. So in the sake of time, we're going to actually do a little bit of practice. And I might have to pull up a conversion chart so that we have that handy for us. Because some of these are kind of, I mean, it's impossible to like measure all, or memorize all of this stuff. So which is more, 1 gallon or 16 pints? So let's take a look at my conversion chart. Why is it taking so long? There we go. Okay, so we are looking at 1 gallon or 16 pints. So here we go. All right, so we have 1 gallon and let's see. Okay, so we're gonna have to all see how difficult customary is. You have to look here. So 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. And how many pints are in a quart? Oh my goodness. 16 pints is slightly bigger. Yes, it is. Okay. All right. Where was I? All right. Okay. So this one's pretty easy since we live in the Mile High City. 1 mile probably equals 5,280 feet. This one I can always memorize because it's, yeah, Denver, Colorado. All right, so now we have 1 pound or 16 ounces. And actually, this one's pretty easy because it is the same. But let's just look at our chart. So here it is. 1 pound is the same as 16 ounces. Ah, I went to the wrong thing. Sorry. There we go. All right, one more. Oh, okay, this is easy. What is more, 7 inches or 1 foot? Well, we know that there's 12 inches in a foot, so obviously a foot is easier. But it's always okay to go to some kind of conversion chart if you have to, because customary units, they're just not as easy as metric units. Metric units are powers of 10, pretty easy to either multiply or divide by 10 when you're changing between units. Customary, however, is different for every single thing. All right. So that was just a little overview on conversions, and we are going to move into area and perimeter, which is something that is coming up in your very near future. and is something that you use a lot more often than converting between customary and metric.
Good day, ma'am. I'm Frank from Frank's Baseboards. I need to measure the perimeter of some rooms in your house for the new baseboards.
Sure, come on in.
Thanks.
You can start in Anna's bedroom.
Sure thing.
All right. So we're going to measure the perimeter, which is basically the outside area.
To find the perimeter, I'm going to have to measure the distance around the room.
All right, so everybody type into the chat what you think the perimeter is. Very good. Good job. 14 is correct. Okay. All right.
Dum 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 dum. Okay, the family room is next. I'll measure it, then I'll need your help figuring out the perimeter.
Okay, so you should be writing this down. All right, so you can add all four numbers up, or you can write it as 7 times 2 plus 4.5 times 2. Okay, and I'm getting some answers. Okay, so most people are saying that if you add all of them up, or multiply 7 times 2 and add that to 4.5 times 2, you will get 23. All right, so there it is shown for you.
Well done.
Yay!
Dum 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 dum. The last room we need to do is the parents' bedroom. I'll measure it, then you can figure out the perimeter.
Okay. Obviously a little bit more difficult because it's not a nice little rectangle, but not hard. Okay, so go ahead, and the easiest way to do this would be to add all of these different measurements up. So I'll give you a couple minutes. Okay, so I'm getting one answer. I would add all the whole numbers up first and then worry about adding the numbers with the decimals, but it doesn't matter. Okay, Ashley got the same number. That's good. I'm gonna wait just another minute for maybe Kaylee and Christian and Kaylee S. Very good. Okay, so most people are saying 21. All right.
Well done.
Yay. Okay.
That's it. We're all done here. Hey, Hey, Joe.
Hey, Frank.
What's up?
What's up?
I was just measuring the perimeter of some rooms for new baseboards.
Oh, boy.
Really? I have to calculate the area of those rooms in order to install new carpet. Can you give me the room measurements to save me some time?
Sure, here you go.
Excellent. See you later, eh?
Sure, bye.
Okay, thanks to Frank, we already have the perimeter measurements. Now we have to calculate the area of this room.
Pretty easy because we know area of a rectangle is simply length times width. Woohoo! Easy breezy. 12. Okay, so that one was
Let's
simple.
do the family room next. Can
Okay,
you figure out the area by yourself?
all right. So what you are doing is multiplying 7 times 4.5. Okay, got one answer. Let's give everybody just a second to work that out. It's a multiplication problem. I would write 4.5 on top times 7. Okay, getting a couple different answers, so maybe I will show that one. All right, so we had 4.5 times 7. 5 times 7 is 35. Carry my 3. 7 times 4 is 28 plus 3, 31. And then I have one digit after the decimal in my problem, so I'm going to have one digit after the decimal in my answer. And it also makes sense if I, look at these and kind of estimate what the answer should be. So 31.5 is what I should have. Okay, there it is.
Excellent.
All right. So now it's going to get a little trickier when we
One
have...
room to go, the parents' bedroom. Calculating the area here is a little more challenging.
Not really, but okay. I'm going to take a picture of this one and then kind of cut it up a little bit, if that makes sense. Ah! Sorry, give me just a second. Okay, change my color. Okay, so this makes it a little easier if I divide it up into two different rectangles, okay? So I'm going to mark that measurement out because I don't want to get confused. And that's all I have to mark out for now. All right, so let's worry about this big rectangle first. So we have a height, and I don't want to get confused here, so I'm going to mark that out. We have a height of 4.5, and we have a width of 3. So our first rectangle, go ahead and work out 4.5 times 3. When you get that answer, type it into the chat. And I'll do it with you. Okay. So you might have forgotten to add your 1, Ashley. Remember how you had to carry your 1? So yes, 13.5 is this bigger portion. Now I have to add it to this smaller portion, and that's pretty easy. We know that this is just 1 times 3, so the area would be 3. So 13.5 plus 3, I don't know why I put it there, sorry, plus 3 is just 16.5. Okay, so we had 3 meters for this smaller portion, and then this bigger portion of the rectangle was 13.5. So 3 plus 13.5 is 16.5.
Excellent.
Yay!
That's it. We're done. Thanks for your help.
Awesome. All right, so let's do, oh, wow. Yay, okay. Let's do a couple more practice problems with area and perimeter. Okay. Oh, this is easy. When you have a square, all of the sides are the same. So what is the perimeter of this square? Go ahead and type it into the chat. Pretty easy because you can just do 5 times 4. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 20. Thank you. All right. Oh, perimeter of a triangle. It works the same way. Just add up 5 plus 4 plus 3. 12. Good job. Yay. Oh, now we have to find the value of x. They are telling us that the perimeter is 24. So far we have 10 plus 6, which is 16. So what's 24 minus 16? 8. Good job, guys. All right, perimeter is way too easy. So let's go to area. Okay. Oh, area of a triangle. I don't know. Is it the same? It's not. It's not the same formula. So let me wipe this clean and write the formula for you. Okay, so the formula of finding a triangle, area of a triangle, is 1/2 base times height. Okay, so we have a base of 4 and we have a height of 3. So we have 1/2 times 4 times 3. So go ahead and work that problem out. Might be easier. Maybe you can do this problem first. 4 times 3 times 1/2. Very good, Kaylee. You'll get the same answer either way, or you can take 1/2 of 4, which is 2 times 3, and your answer should be 6. Yay! All right, so now they're telling us the area. So let me wipe this board clean. So now we know what A actually is. And we have to find the base. So in this situation, here's our equation. We have 50, or the area, equals 1/2 times the base times 10. So now we need to solve and figure out what we know so far. So let's just figure out what we know so far. What we know is 1/2 times 10 is 5. So I'll rewrite my equation as 50 equals 5b. Okay, I'm just putting those together. When you see multiplication and I just put them together like that, that means to multiply. I don't have to put that little symbol in there unless you really want to. Okay, so now to solve for b, I'm going to divide both sides by 5. And 50 divided by 5, everybody? 10. 5 divided by 5 is just 1. So there would be your answer. Okay, type into the chat if that made any sense to you, like a happy face or a sad face, because that was solving an algebraic equation. Okay, good, Ashley. Okay, good. So I just solved for the missing number, which was our base. Okay, Kaylee P. Okay, so TJ, that was maybe a little confusing. We'll do another practice problem. All right, let's try another one. I'm sure they'll give us another hard one. Oh, all right. So they want to know the area of the shaded region. So if we, let's take a picture of this so I can draw all over it. Give me just a second. I wish it wiped itself clean each time, but it just doesn't. There we go. All right, so let's look at what we know. So far, we know that the height is 6, and we know that this base right here is 4. And what we need to know is the shaded region, and we're trying to find the area. So it's just a triangle. It's not a big deal. Area equals 1/2 base times height. They're just kind of trying to trick you here by showing you even this white area. It's not really necessary. They just needed to tell us that it was 6, 6 was the height. So plugging it in, we have 1/2 times 4 as the base times 6 as the height. So if you do maybe this problem first, 4 times 6 is 24. Half of 24 is 12. Yay! Okay. So we need another problem like the one that gave us the area as the answer. Oh well, we'll get there. This one's pretty simple too. We have a height of 5 and a base of 6. So we have 1/2 base times height. So in my head, right away, I know base times height is 30. What is half of 30? 15. That's right. I didn't even write down that equation, but 1/2 base times height. 1/2 of 30 is 15. Okay, good. So this is another example where we can solve the algebraic equation. Okay, picture. Okay, so this time around, they gave us the area. So I'm just going to write 18 equals, and we have the height. So we have 1/2 times the base, which we don't know, and we have the height of 6. All right, so let's solve what we know. We know what 1/2 of 6 equals. So I'll rewrite the equation. 1/2 of 6 is 3. So what I'm left with is b. I still do not know what the base is. So to get rid of b, what you have to do is divide. That's the opposite of multiply. So to get rid of it, divide both sides by 3. So now 18 divided by 3, we all know is 6. And then that just goes away. And so now we know what our b is, or our base. Okay, give me a thumbs up if that made sense. Hopefully. Happy face. Good, all right. Yay! All right, here's another example where we can, they give us the area, so we can work out the algebraic equation. I like these. I like algebra. Okay, here we go. So they give us the area. Oh, and this is not a triangle anymore, obviously. This is just a regular old rectangle. It happens to be a square, by the way. So really, I really actually don't even have to do this problem because I just told you the answer. If it's a square, all of the sides are equal. So it has to be 8, right? But let's just say that we didn't know that this was a square and we wanted to work out the problem. For a regular rectangle like this, base times height is all we have to do to find the area. So we know the height, but we don't know the base. We do, but I'm pretending that we don't. Oh, I guess it isn't a square. I guess maybe it's a little bit longer. Doesn't that look like a square? I don't know. To me, it looks like a square. Whatever. All right, so we would divide this side by 8 and divide this side by 8. And so that we know that apparently this is not a square and this side is 9. The base is 9. Huh. So TJ was able to see that that didn't look like a square. To me, it looked like a square, but whatever. It wasn't. Ah, see, now here is a square. So this is easy. We know that all of the sides are 4 because it's a square. So 4 times 4, everybody, is 16. Wonderful. All right, another triangle. So that is 1/2 base times height. So I'm going to let you work that one out on your own. So base times height is 40, and 1/2 of 40 is, good job, Ashley, 20. Good job, TJ. All right, and Kaylee S. and Christian. Woohoo! All right, guys, you guys have got this down. That was a pretty easy little lesson there on area and perimeter. You will be getting to that soon if you haven't already. Conversions, don't hesitate to go back to this agenda that I sent you and use your conversion chart. Sometimes it helps. For anybody who came in late, your Latin America project partners are going to be returning from spring break Monday, so they will start communicating with you on Monday. In the meantime, you are the ones who need to create the presentations and share it with them. On Monday, you guys will start communicating about who is going to be the biographer, who is going to be the travel guide, and who's going to be the historian. And then you'll start researching. Okay, give me a thumbs up or a happy face if that makes sense. Okay, cool. All right. Yay! All right, guys, you have a fantastic weekend. I will see you in our virtual classroom on Monday. Pretty important day because we are going to start a new unit. So have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you Monday. All right, bye.